All right, young adults out there, if you're listening or you're the parents of some young adults, are your kids saving or spending?
That's a real problem for kids these days, and I know that sounds like a bit of a trope, but financial strategist Clark Hodges is going to help us work through this. So do kids really have a sense that they need to save?
I don't think they do. I don't, growing up, I don't recall having that conversation or being taught that sort of thing. Now, I grew up in a family where my father was in the investment business like we are today, but, the actual thought of, hey, you need to save part of everything that goes through your hand in your life was never a basic taught, especially not in school. I mean, why can't schools address that issue somehow with basic check writing responsibilities and something like that?
Well, how long does it take to save up an amount for a young person that they can really feel good about and actually give them some comfort?
Well, it takes time. It's a lot easier to spend money than save it because it happens overnight when you spend it, but savings doesn't. If you set aside a certain amount of money a month, let's say you're fortunate enough to do $100 a month, well, then there's $1,200 in a year. And $1,200 in savings, if you had an emergency bill of, a doctor's appointment or doctor bill or something like that, it wouldn't cover it probably. So it does take time. I encourage people to save their money, but also put it in the stock market, put it in a mutual fund and dollar cost average. So while you're sleeping, so to speak, and if we have a good stock market, you can actually have that $1,200 turn into maybe more given time, and you're constantly doing it automatically into that fund. But that's something that most people learn when they're 40 that they should have been doing when they're 20.
Financial strategist Clark Hodges is with us on the Kogo News Live line. And Clark, for our parents who are listening out there and have kids who are going off to college, they're going to be tempted by a lot of credit card companies because these, they're looking for new customers. How do their parents talk to them about this?
I think the basic philosophy of the money mindset needs to be set down. And if you, as a family, view money as something to acquire things, that's one thing. If you view money as something to make your life in the future better, that's another thing. So understanding that they're going off to college, they're going to get these credit card offers, they're going to have impulse buys like they've never imagined, going out and all that sort of stuff. You're just going to be faced with them constantly with these impulse buys. And just trying to teach them to resist that, knowing that resisting it helps their future. Now, most kids don't think that way. Most kids don't look down the road. But if you can get one or two to change their mentality and understand that, it's easy to spend, it's hard to save, but the saving is the most important aspect in financial success. It's not what you put it in. It's actually being a saver. Hopefully, at a young age, if they can get that message, they'll be so much better off later on in life.
And a lot of students say if they go to grad school or even if they don't, they have so much student debt. They say, I can't even afford to put anything away. But it is possible.
There's things you can do. You could take, a lot of people have automated bills out of their checking account. Make it a habit to go through those every 6 months or a year to see what you can live without. If you can go through there and recoup $30, $50, $100 a month, it's worth it to do it. And I know a family that tried an experiment one year in saving money, and they said, we'll go out to eat a lot, but when we go out to eat, nobody order anything to drink except water. No Cokes, no teas. And let's see how much money we save in a year doing that. And little things like that, they saved over $4,000 as a family. So you got to be creative and think about stuff like that. And but a lot of the way you view money and the way you spend or save money is kind of in you when you're born, or you witness mom and dad pull up the credit card and use it. You don't see the other side of that transaction, which is later on in the month they're sending a check to the credit card company.
All right, financial strategist Clark Hodges on the Kogo News Live line talking about young people and credit card debt and how we can save.